Hi, and welcome back to my channel. This is a follow-up video, so I strongly suggest you look at the description and have a look at the first part of this video. In this follow-up, I'm only adding some more information about how you can access your Office 365 email with an OAuth2 account. And this is a change that happened a lot of time ago, but since the previous video, as still a lot of you and a lot of people asked me some specific question, I want to do this follow-up to answer to this specific question. Now, a question that arises usually it's you give me your code. In the example application, you get all the code to perform manually all the OAuth2 code flow authentication, but the problem is it's my code. It can be useful for this kind of purpose of demonstrating how exactly the OAuth2 process works. But when you go in production, you want to use an official library that performs this flow for you and not using your custom code, because for everything that regards security, it's better to stick to the standard. The obvious solution is using an official library like Microsoft.Identity.Client. And this is a library, you have this Nuget package, you can use it to perform everything in a very simple way, and I'll show you how. In the startup program, I'm creating an iConfidential client application using the standard client ID of the application, the secret, the authority, that is the same of the previous application, the previous example, and then I've specified the redirect URL, and it's the address that I will use to get the token back when finish the code, when the code authorization flow finish. And in the previous example, all the code is written by me manual. In this time, I show you how simple it is to use this library. Now I've started the program. I put a breakpoint in the constructor of this new controller, and I am going to navigate to the example page. Okay, and okay, this connector is not private because it's localhost and it has a test certificate. And now you see when I hit the constructor of my controller, since I've injected the iConfidential client application, I have directly in the constructor, so I can go on and a page is rendered. Now, as usual, I want you to understand that to perform the code authentication flow, you need to generate a link that redirect to Microsoft. Microsoft will perform securely authentication and then call back one of your pages, one of your controllers. So I click generate authentication code flow. You see this controller is created again. So I'm simply removing this breakpoint. It's not useful anymore. And I go to a place where I show you how easy it is to create the redirect link, because I have a confidential client application get authorization request URL, in which and this method requires only the scope you want to require. And this is a simple call that have an execute async that allow you to generate the URL. So, okay, the code is the same. It will inspect the URL, but actually that's the URL. And it's the same URL I've generated with my code. But as you can see, this time, everything is done by a Microsoft client application. So if some vulnerability, if some problem occur in the OAuth2 protocol, if the OAuth2 protocol will change slightly in how the login should be performed, you need only to update this client. It is officially maintained, so it is better to use this client than your own code. But the result is the very same. I have a link that I can click to simply redirect to the Microsoft login page that performed the login. Now, if I press this link, all the OAuth2 login happens, and then Microsoft will redirect back to my redirect URI. As you can see, this is a local, it's my function. And this is where another part of the code flow authentication happens. Microsoft will give me back one code, and then my code should call Microsoft back, passing that code to get back a token, and especially useful a refresh token, because remember, the token you got back has a very short duration. It usually lasts for half an hour, nothing more, maybe minutes. Each time you want to talk again using this kind of authentication, you usually get a refresh token, and you need to use the refresh token to make another call to the Microsoft login server and say, hey, I have this refresh token. Can you give me a new access token? Okay. Everything is handled by the MSL, by this Microsoft Client Identity package. So if I click to the link, I got redirected to Microsoft page. I want to use another account. So I'm now performing the login and see what's happening. Now, I've performed the login into my account and I got my callback get token. Now, as you remember in the previous video, we need to do another call to the Microsoft Identity Server because I got a code in return, but this is not an access token. This needs to be used with another call to verify from the server side that we still have the secret and everything is okay. So as you can see in this example, the only method I need to call is acquire token by authorization code, passing a scope and a code. So I need to pass the code that Microsoft Identity gave me back following the authentication code. So the user enter credential, click OK. I will let this OAuth2 application to access my data with this scope. And I got this. Simply call, and everything is done by the application. So I can press continue. And as you can see, I have my valid token. Okay. And this token has an expire that is actually 10 minutes in the future. Okay. And then you have another question. Okay. So this token expire 5, 10, 30 minutes in the future, depending on how it's configured and depending on the other party. So how I can get a new token back thanks to use the refresh token. And even this, it's handled automatically by the Microsoft library, because you see I have a button that is acquire new token from Microsoft Authentication Library. And remember, this token expire at 9 and 16:31, and I press acquire new token from MSAL, and you see another endpoint. It's called test SMTP, but I'm not going to include in this page the test of the call of the SMTP because it's the same of the previous application of the previous example. I just want to show you how easy to work with the Microsoft Authentication Library, but there's a thing that is important. Actually, the application is keeping all the credential in memory. Okay, so we can have in a web application multiple users give the authorization, perform the code authorization flow. So actually, this library has a get accounts async. It's obsolete. It is better. I've updated this code, and now I need to change. This is obsolete, but it still works. And from the accounts, it gives me information on all the accounts that perform authentication flow. And in this example, I have my test account, okay? And so now I know that I have only one account, it's demo application, so I can take the first. And when I have an account, I can use the acquire token silent of the confidential client application, passing always. You need to always pass the scope, the account, and you choose execute async. So doing this, I have another token. You see the expiration time is different. So actually what happens behind the scene is each time you want to talk to another application, you don't care about the token is expired. I need to call the refresh token. You just let the application, the MSL application, the Microsoft Identity Client application does everything for you. You need only to know which is the account you want to ask the token for, and everything is handled automatically by the library. So that's all for this video. In a recap, I show you how easy it is to use the Microsoft Client Library for accessing OAuth2 to perform the code authorization flow and everything is about a three method call. You can generate the link, you can acquire the token by the code, and then you call the acquire token silent each time you want to have a new access token to use. You don't need to manage anything. You don't need to check if your token is expired. You don't need to check your refresh token, nothing. And the big advantage is not only that you have less code to maintain, but the real advantage is you're using an official library by Microsoft, so you are secure that the OAuth2 mechanism is handled correctly. Everything is the same. Then when you have your access token, you can use to access your IMAP folder. So nothing is different from the previous example. So this concludes this video. I hope you liked it. I'm waiting you for the next one.
Free audio post-production by authonic.com.